thought you were going back to Majula. Did you lie to me? Give us a kiss. What a stupid pose that one is. I forget what NPC gives you well, what is it? I think it's the Crestfallen. Well, what is it is always the best pose in every Dark Souls. Other than pointing down if you're fighting like a Lobos. Okay, guy. He used his special move. The one that he doesn't telegraph. Go ahead, fall on me, I dare you. I want it. Oh god, his eyes. He doesn't have eyes. I made him red for nothing. Now, if I recall correctly, it used to be that hollow was on the other side of this door in the base game, and you could cheese your way through early by aggroing him. I might be misremembering that, if I am. Okay, so, Dark Souls 2, boss cutscenes have this stupid red, let's call it spaghetti sauce. I don't know why it's there. This is probably not the fight, because the fight sucks, but this is probably one of my favorite boss fights in any of the Dark Souls games, just from a conceptual standpoint. The name, The Last Giant, just the name being The Last Giant, has a certain conceptual tragedy to it that's inherent. Like, without any backstory, there's almost a sort of sadness to the idea that this is the last of something. I think that's an interesting idea. It's like the last unicorn, or the last Trisket in the bag. This boss fight, however, sucks. It's the worst. Well, it's not the worst, but it's not good. It's simultaneously way too easy and basically complete luck. Well, not. Sometimes I say stupid things. It's the problem is that the only real way you'll die to this boss, because he's very, very easy, is that he'll hit you with an attack that's effectively a one-hit kill. Like, his stomps in particular do most of your health. So if you're hollow and you're missing a bit of health, like I am right now, hi, that's me. If you're missing health right now, like I am, or if you're just in general missing health and you're not even hollow, then he has a good chance to just one-hit kill you. And so what is by far probably maybe the easiest boss in all of Dark Souls, other than the joke that is the Covetous Demon or something like Pinwheel, he's exceptionally easy. It's just that the one time he will kill you, there will effectively be no counterplay for it. Because the one time he'll really kill you is when you're low on health, and you manage to either run out of stamina or get trapped under some questionable hitboxes under his feet. In which case he will stomp on you, and in effect, just instantly kill you. So he's an aggravating enemy. And it's a shame that his boss fight is so terrible, because again, from a conceptual standpoint, I think it's maybe one of the most interesting bosses in all of Dark Souls. Just the idea that you are fighting the last of a species. You are effectively removing this species from the earth. I mean, there are several species that I would love to remove from the earth, but I don't know. The idea of a fantasy creature going extinct is something that's I find it fairly interesting. Again, it's just a shame that the boss fight is not good. But this game has something like 42 bosses, and I would say maybe 5 of them are actually good. Although, to be fair, I don't like a lot of Dark Souls 1 bosses, including some of the ones that other people do like. I obviously like Artorias. Everyone likes Artorias. It's obligatory. Although his run-up is so bad that I almost take a point off for that alone. As well, he has one attack that I think is somewhat poorly telegraphed, that being, people who have done the boss fight will know this, and people who haven't done that boss fight will just be like, what the fuck is he talking about? So, I guess maybe if you're not someone who's familiar with Dark Souls, maybe this Dark Souls playthrough isn't for you, but anyway, Artorias has one attack where it's after he's just done another attack. I think his leaping strike, it might just be like a flail about attack, however, where it seems like the player has a free moment to hit and punish him, because he's sort of standing there, and then the second the player hits him, he flings goo at them, and it does no, like, basically no damage, but it's enough to always stagger the player no matter what their poise is. And so he is effectively able then to shut down an opportunity to punish him. That boss fight already is decently challenging. Add on to that fact that there's a fake punish window, and it adds more challenge that doesn't necessarily need to be there. Although I guess it's at least, if your argument is that Artorias is meant to fight like an actual swordsman, then there's, yeah, sure, he's effectively kicking sand in your face. It just, I don't find it particularly enjoyable. Apparently there are people who both like and defend the... Oh, what's his name now? Stupid fucking dragon. It's not Midear, because Midear's this game. Oh, now I've screwed myself, I can't remember it. But the big dragon fight in that same DLC, I hate. I hate it. Yeah, I just can't remember his name. But he... Okay, well, the reason is that I'm not a fan of boss fights where the entire fight is the enemy spamming AoE damage at you, and you effectively just have to run around avoiding that until you get the opportunity to hit them. Because at that point you're functioning under bullet hell logic, and I've never been a fan of bullet hells. The best boss fights in all of Dark Souls for me are the ones where the player has the ability to at least somewhat dictate the ebb and flow of battle. And Artorias is definitely one of those. There are a few in this game, although they're mostly in the DLC. And then Dark Souls 3 has... Don't know if any come to mind. Who is messaging me at this hour? Well, I can't really check right now. Get to the top. To the toppermost of the... Fireball throwers. Yeah, Dark Souls 3 has, like, Slave Knight Gale. Alright, let's see what all this is.